who isn't in it at this point?
Here's the maximum line right.
Maximum line right into the green.
The bend?
Just left of the bend.
7.
Here's a Jin Young Ko.
Yeah, so just go
Drove it
straight down with it.
right.
The pin in the bend.
And second shot to here. The tee was moved up the first 2 days, so it was reachable in 2, but today they've moved it back. So it's quite a long par 5 for the LPGA Tour. 577 today, one of the longer par 5s the players will face. It plays slightly uphill as well.
Hayden and all of us. 7.
Jin Young Ko with the long birdie putt here. Try and dial in that speed. The green's a lot quicker this week than they were last week at St Andrews, but players have had a few days now to settle in.
Here is Jin Young Ko leading by 1. That's right, up 1. Down by 7 when the round began at the par 3 8th.
Whole location tucked all the way on the right side here. It's a safe play.
At the par 3 8th, Jin Young Ko for birdie, and Kay Cockrell is caught up with this pair.
Yeah, Grant, a good safe putt, shot to the front of the green, about a 35-footer, and really nice speed control.
That to stay 9 under. And you see all...
Make her first birdie of this round and start to build a scorecard, which has been 4 so far. Jin Young Ko off the tee at 9.
A good-looking tee shot challenging the left center. Bunkers on the left, fescue and a bunker on the right.
Picking up that left side, going to leave a really nice angle to the front right hole location today.
Difficult, as Morgan was saying earlier in the week. Tough to visualize the shot. Now, Jin Young Ko, how's this one lying, Kate?
Yeah, it's just fine. 111 yards to the hole, so just a little wedge. Kind of knocked that down.
It's going to be below the hole.
Picked for her first Oline Cup team, birdied her first 3 holes in round 1.
Jin Young Ko for birdie. Back up the hill, got to hit it. Yeah. And Jin Young Ko, 10 under par and leading the FM Championship. Struggled with a little neck issue earlier in the week. Woke up feeling a bit of a sore neck.
Jin Young Ko teed off a little over 2 hours ago, down by 7. She now leads by 1.
Straightaway par 4, but this one pushed with a fade. There's rough and trees come in, cart paths over there.
Look out.
Oh, goodness.
She missed one on 7 to the right as well. It has been just a great start. John L., thank you and your entire team. Not a great start to this 10th hole for Jin Young Ko, though, Kay. Here she is with her second.
Yeah, the cart path kind of exaggerated how much farther right this shot went, but she's lucky. She has a swing, a decent lie. It's just a matter of how aggressive she wants to be with this punch shot. 123 to the front, caught it cleanly. Has a pretty good line. Depends how it hits the moguls. And all in all, that's a pretty good lead from there.
Just an incredible turnaround from the end of the day yesterday to midway through round 3 today. This is at the 10th, our leader Jin Young Ko from off the front of the green.
Yeah, going with the putter. She's about 5 paces shy of the front of the green. Big left to right break, uphill, then downhill. And yeah, when the putter doesn't work off the front of the green, you're wondering why maybe they didn't chip.
That'll be
It's at 8 under par. Back over to number 10.
and the par putt for Jin Young Ko to stay up by 1. Kay, do you have any indication as to whether or not they know where these two know where they stand?
Well, probably the fact that I showed up on the 8th green was an indicator that the final group was struggling. There was a leaderboard at the 9th, so I'm sure if the players didn't look at it, the caddies certainly did. I would think over this putt, Jin Young probably has a little bit of a relaxed focus. And isn't that the perfect mindset you want to make a putt like that? And that's a heck of a 4 from where she drove it.
Good, solid par save. Wonderful putt. Good putting.
The total yardage is 162. It does play uphill about 3 yards, and it doesn't feel like any wind's blowing, but it's got to be up there hurting a little bit. And if you don't carry it enough, Morgan, there's a false front on the front left part of the green.
Safe play there towards the center of the green. That's where most players have ended up today. Trying to use the slope.
I'm here, Gum Nim. She's following along. As she is so many weeks to the 11th.
And Jin Young Ko with a birdie putt here. Be her 5th birdie of the day if it goes in.
Yeah, it was a nice play off the tee. I think you just can't flirt with that front left false front. But she's left herself a rather speedy putt. This green tilts mostly from back to front, a little bit left to right on the left-hand side. So this putt will break right to left. I could see her playing this a little conservatively.
Oh, it's perfect speed. Just thought it might turn in a little bit at the end, but it's going to be a 3, and she will remain at 10 under.
Just a prolific winner, one of the very best of the modern era. Win in that event, 3rd different golf course. 5 top 10s for Jin Young, and again looking to extend her longest active winning streak on the LPGA Tour to 8 years with the Sahata Oka. Won there, the U.S. Women's Open. At the 10th, this is Yealimi No, and this is to get to 6 under.
So interesting, players like Yealimi not really knowing what to expect going into the day with Haydan having such a huge lead. A lot to play for other than just a title for a player like Yealimi, but has to have a feeling like I'm still right in this.
The good thing is you can actually take this down the center, left center, and there's no fear of carrying the fairway bunker on the left. Yeah, that was struck well, and she did challenge that left-hand side, and that's going to give her a little better, cleaner look at the opening of the green.
And Kay, you thought that angle for Jin Young was good?
Yeah, from this left-hand side, 5 wood in hand, can go right straight up the center of the green. Doesn't have to try to play it over the bunker. She's pulled this one as well. Probably going to bound down a little more to the left.
Watch the lie here.
Oh, that kind of settled up against the thicker cut of rough. That'll make that shot a little bit more difficult, but not surprised to see them both miss left. That is the preferred spot to miss it.
There's, oh, good.
Really falling apart to start the round today. It's already been an impressive comeback. Oh, no.
3rd for Jin Young at 12.
Just nothing to do there. Surprised she didn't try a little more of a bunker shot type swing, kind of a high lofted shot. My only thought would be it was sitting down so much she felt like she couldn't.
Won the Olympic silver medal. All right, fourth shot, par 5 12th for Jin Young Ko.
I mean, after that brilliant drive, just fighting now to save par. Got a little bit of
Over the field for Hae-Dan Yu when the round began, but now at least a dozen players or so have a puncher's chance. Jin Young for her par here at the 12th.
Yeah, it's so crazy that she had a 5-wood in her hand, thinking she was going to be on or just on the edge of this green, and now grinding for par. A good 10-footer with right to left break. I love the supporters out here just willing that ball into the hole.
that was an important save there for her.
That have looked good over the last several holes for birdie. Frustrating there for Lexi. To the 13th hole, Jin Young Ko second.
150 yards to the hole, but she's looking at landing this about 133, 135 yards. Wind helping, also coming out of the rough, it might jump a bit.
Yeah, smart play there, Kay. Anticipating that slight bit of jump. Perfect distance control.
Back on the 13th hole, Jin Young Ko for birdie.
This to tie head-on at the top. Yeah, she was a little confused about what it was going to do towards the end of the putt, and it really just straightened out.
Onto the scene, and Lauren Coughlin. Of course, Coughlin has the 2 wins, but both first-time competitors. Alban Valenzuela is another first-timer for Europe. Jin Young, second shot at 14.
Yeah, that was not the best struck 7-iron, but stayed out of major trouble. Kind of a pull draw.
Morgan, what's
Fair.
happening here today with this round?
I don't know.
And Boston's own Megan Kang. Tell us about this third at the 14th for Jin Young, Kay.
Well, she has about 5 paces to the edge of the green, and then another 4 to the hole. Kind of level initially, then downhill. Second time today that I've seen her use the putter from well off the green surface. And she's going to make a par.
Everything so quick down the hill. Fortunate that she could get a putter on that. Easier to control. And in the end, an easy 2-putt.
So she'll stay at 10 under. Hae-Dan Yu is back to minus.
Arnold Palmer design. Gil Hans and Brad Faxon with a major renovation to this golf course. And Jin Young Ko, who actually modeled her putting stroke after Brad Faxon by watching videos on YouTube. This is a tee shot at the 15th.
Ooh, this going way to the left. A little overcorrection, perhaps, of some earlier missed right tee shots, and that looks like it's found one of the fairway bunkers.
Yeah, the fairway bunkers can be very penalizing there, so we'll just have to see. There's a long wispy grasp around them as well. Let's check in with Jin Young Ko.
9.
Maybe 9.
Yeah, this is really a challenging shot. This is a pretty large bunker with
And
it.
that's the thing. If you go with a shorter club, you can go further right because we're not going to carry the front. Yeah, short, but do you not feel you can get 9 there? How was that?
She has 131 yards to the front. There's a fairly large lip. She has a decent amount of clearance, but it's borderline to put a 9-iron on it.
I Tower's just left of the pin, yeah. You just want, with this club, you just want to be right of the tower. Just
How much?
Just a little, you know, like a few meters right of it.
The bright tree is fine?
I mean, the tower's okay as long as you know, get a clean, catch it nice. And it's only going to go like 100, so.
Yeah, looks like she's gone back to a wedge of sorts, maybe gap wedge. The ball's well below her feet and also a slight uphill lie. Wind at the moment is helping somewhat. Yeah.
That catch it?
No,
Or
it
was it the
caught enough
sand?
ball. It just came
Yeah.
out low, but it's fine.
It was the sand banging into the bank there rather than the ball, thankfully. See how close it was. These bunkers are just really pretty deep.
I have to say, having watched, I know you and I watched some of the Curtis Cup this morning. This has a similar look right here, this shot, to some of the shots we saw this morning at Sunningdale. Definitely caught that.
Hit on you when the round began. She trails the great Jin Young Ko now by 1. Day 3, Greater Boston.
This is the third shot here for Jin Young Ko at the 15th.
Hitting up to an elevated green. 15 paces to the front, another 21 to the hole.
To stay in front by 1. She might still have a share of the lead. Let's go over to 15.
Jin Young Ko trying to scramble a par.
Successfully saved for par on 10 and 12. Can she do it one more time on this back 9? Oh. Wow. Well, it started with an errant tee shot. Almost salvaged par.
I mean, this is a tough golf course. You think about the scoring on day 1, 68 led the way. The 62.
You see players make charges and then fall back. Now Jin Young at the 16th.
She has a wedge in her hand. Little bit of breeze swirling around, bringing us in from right to left.
So we've got 7 players separated by a shot at the top. And then you have Rui Xin Lu of China, who birdied her last 2 holes yesterday to make the cut on the number. Went out this morning in the 4th pair out, shot 64, and she's tied for 9th. So who knows?
City of Boston, I loved playing in the Northeast, and particularly this area. And I played 3 years north of Boston in Danvers, and then I think it was 6 or 7 years south of the city in Canton at Blue Hills Country Club. And
Yeah.
I've had a few fans come out, you know, people that remember and were out watching the LPGA when we played at Blue Hills.
Yeah.
And then,
you look just the same. They recognize you
Well,
immediately.
I don't
Yeah.
know about that.
But Kay, Sutton, Mass in 1999 was the last time that we were anywhere near this area. 04 U.S. Open was over in the Springfield, Mass area, but
Won by
it's
my
great to
very
be
good
back.
friend. Won by my very good friend Meg Mallon. She took down Annika Sorenstam on Sunday, shooting a 65. That was thrilling. Yeah, a lot of good memories of golf in Massachusetts. This putt close to 30 feet. I think she'd be happy to easily 2-putt this. Yeah, it just really kind of slowed up and flattens out at the end.
And she's very familiar with this position, and I was just thinking the last month and a half that she's had, it's been wild.
Yeah, but
It's easy to think that, oh, would she just be a one-shot wonder? Well, no, I think she's put those thoughts to bay.
all right, just a little work left here for Jin Young. Well, the local football team has the all-time greatest.
No, there's a very narrow passage there, which she's just got into the neck of it by going down the left side. But it is risky because you bring in that rough on the left, and that bank on the left is quite large. In fact, Jin Young Ko is blocked out. There it is on the left side of your screen. If you're less than 210 off the tee, you get blocked out, Kay.
Yeah, most average players or average length players are hitting 3 wood off the tee, maybe 5 wood.
Jin Young was blocked out early in the week.
The left-hand side as well, and
oh, took a nice hop.
Good bounce.
Yep.
Ooh, but it's kind of close to the fescue on the right. That'd be interesting.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay now, Kate. It's right in the net.
It's been a good challenge all week's second toughest for the week.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, look at the lie there for Jin Young Ko, Kay.
Yeah, how about it? Just hanging on the edge.
It looks like it's in that divot, Kay.
Actually, you know what? It fell in because literally 20 seconds ago, it was on the edge, so it fell into that divot hole.
Just got to play this back in your stance, trap it a little bit.
Yeah, she caught that solidly, had good sound to it, Morgan. That was really well done. Bad luck. When I first saw the lie, I thought, ooh, if you just breathe on that ball, it may fall into the divot hole, and it did. That's crazy.
Yeah, she got away with it. Puff.
And a little bit of work left. 17.
And Jin Young for the birdie.
Really impressed with her patience and focus to hit that shot out of the divot when her ball was initially not in it. Little left to right breaking putt. Oh, how about that?
Solo lead.
She has a couple of very enthusiastic fans out here.
Quiet, please.
She's got so much.
17.
Yeah, check in with Yealimi No, putting over the knob in the green, which should be on the right side of the line. So if that's the case, it's going to break from right to left.
It just makes it so much tougher to read, Tom, when you're putting through these shadows. At least at this moment, they're not really moving. That could make it even more difficult, but only the 6th birdie today. What a putt.
Yeah, that was really good. That gets her back to 1 over for the day. First birdie since the 5th hole. And Yealimi No battling to get into the events.
She's been shaking her head. Just such a shocking flip from what we saw yesterday when she hit all 18 of these smaller than average greens in regulation. And she's working hard just to save par at the 17th. Meanwhile, Jin Young Ko leading by 1 on the tee at 18.
Yeah, and they've had quite a wait while the group ahead has waited to hit. And now that they've cleared the fairway, Jin Young trying to pull off a good straight tee shot, which she has. That may, oh, I thought it might go through the fairway, but that was beautifully struck and well done after sitting there contemplating the shot for well over 5 minutes, probably closer to 10 minutes.
Jin Young Ko is going to lay up here, Kate.
Yeah, a little deliberation as to whether she would go short of the little belly bunker that's about at 80 yards, instead going a little bit further past that bunker, so she'll have less than 100 yards in for the 3rd.
Players have too much spin and not able to get it on that top shelf where the hole location's located today.
Now the final 2 pairs are all at the 18th tee. This is 23-year-old Yealimi No from Northern California. At one point early in her career, she got inside the top 30 in the Rolex rankings. She played on the Solheim Cup team back in 2021, almost won the Mundi Evian Championship as a 19-year-old. But she had fallen this time last year, Morgan, down to around 300th in the Rolex rankings and is just climbing ever so deliberately back up. This looks a little left.
It was almost in Gino territory from yesterday.
Bianca Pogton, I don't remember, hit one into
Bianca.
the elbow of one of our crew members. But for Yealimi, such promise. Almost won.
Just a little bit better.
Yeah, this is not the greatest lie. It's just sitting down enough to make you kind of think twice about it. She has to be really concerned about making sure she catches this just right and make sure she stays aggressive through it. Only 106 yards, but I would think she is going to go at least 10 to 15 feet left of the flag as well. It's a gap wedge.
Aim somewhere on the left side of that FM championship logo and let the ball fall right. If
Yeah,
it does,
caught that nicely.
doesn't have that spin, is able to keep it on the top shelf.
Oh, you think about Jin Young Ko and her namesake, no relation, Lydia Ko, just win 2 for a major championship, 1 for Player of the Year or a Vare Trophy. And Jin Young is at 20 total points, and that is very much a goal of hers for a player who joined the tour full-time back in 2018.
And you know how badly she wants to get her name back in the winner's circle. As you said, her longest drought since she's been on the LPGA Tour, which I sometimes forget how young she is as well. It's she's just so incredibly talented and a fun person to be around, fun to watch.
And we don't talk about droughts with very many players, do we? It's those who win so much, like Jin Young. And for her last victory, May of last year. But to win, Morgan, 7 straight years, and she has tried to win for an 8th straight. What does that tell you? You know how it's like out here?
I mean, just consistency and mental strength. I mean, you mentioned some of the injuries that she's battled this year, some shoulder and neck issues, which are not fun.
And even this week, as Tom mentioned, just waking up with a stiff neck. She's had that a couple of times in her career. And he'll have that putt to get to 11 under. 29 years old. And then the contrast, Kay, with Lauren Coughlin, who just grinded for so long, and she's right there again. Came from behind to win in Canada, and got it done, went out in front in Scotland. And one last chance here for Jin Young to add to her lead.
Yeah, this is a really good look at Birdie. That was just a nicely placed wedge. You know, this is the kind of putt, Morgan, you almost like want to maybe read more into it than there is.
Okay, we've seen quite a few players misread this putt right here. It breaks away from the bunker more than they think. Just kind of how Lauren's hung out there as well.
Yeah, so maybe playing this just outside the right edge. It just looks so darn flat.
Looking very much like the Jin Young Ko that has at times dominated the world of women's golf.
She got off to a really hot start today. 3 birdies in her first 6 holes and just stayed really steady.
A couple of nice par saves in there.
Yeah, I mean, I would say she got her name on the top of the leaderboard earlier than she even thought she was going to, and that can, you know, be a little bit different mentally on the system when you see your name at the top of the leaderboard like that. But Jin Young Ko is used to it.
Yeah, I was going to say, who's had more experience of this bunch for sure. Lauren Coglett's gotten used to it herself, and she's talked about.
She sure is. Jin Young just shot a great round of 67. You were 7 shots back of Hae-Dong Yu before this day started. What was it like when you discovered that you suddenly were in the mix and that she had fallen back?
I mean, I don't know. Heran and we are really close, and she's like such a great player. So she shoot like 10 under yesterday, and I thought, is it possible to play on this golf course? And then I just pray, and then oh my God, I just wanted to following her. But like, yeah, I just wanted to have good golf. This week in Boston. A lot of Korean fans out there, so they are cheering me so much. So I feel really loved. So yeah, one more round to go. Yeah, I will focus myself tomorrow.
You did have some enthusiastic supporters out there. 4 under on the front 9. Then the back, it was a little bit more difficult. How key were a couple of those big par saves to keep you going?
I don't know. I had like missed shot. 2 or 3 missed shot I had. I think my brain getting old, so it's so hard to focus. So I think I need to wake up my brain for tomorrow.
You had an unusual thing happen to you on 17. Your ball was hanging on the edge of the divot, and then by the time you had to hit it, it was in the divot hole. Take us through your thought process on how you dealt with that and how you hit such a good shot and made birdie.
When I arrived at the ball, ball was sitting like up, like without divot. So I thought, I've got some lucky today, but before it hit like 1 minute before, breeze was like big wind. The ball was gonna move, and I saw it, and then I thought ball's gonna say I don't want to go in divot, but breeze took in the divot. And then anyway, this is on a part of golf, so I really trying to accept it, and 17 is not easy hole. I got some luck, I think, yeah.
You handled it brilliantly. Beautiful birdie finish, and we'll look forward to seeing what you can do tomorrow. Great play, and congratulations. Guys, back to you.
And Morgan, this is what happens, right? When you're great, you just find a way. She hit a great shot, and then this putt was not easy.
She just said, you accept it. That's so much about golf, is just accepting what happens to you no matter what, and moving forward, focusing entirely on the next shot. Instead of getting frustrated with that bit of bad luck, turned it into a birdie. Then another one on 18 to take a 2-shot lead.
Only bogey of the day there, and big comeback. So it'll be Jin Young up by 2, trying to win for the first time since May of last year.
Alrighty.
The only other drought that really